Yeah, I can trim the front, so go ahead,
How's
start.
the background?
It looks
Can
great.
you see the logo on my new hat?
Yes, I can.
Does
I
it look
can.
nice?
Yeah, it looks great.
Do I look good?
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Muy fuerte?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
That
but
means very strong.
yeah, you look very strong.
Okay, I look muy fuerte. Muy guapo.
Yeah, guapo.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Your e-collar comes in a box like this. So, you're gonna open the box. Now, first of all, I want you to forget everything that you've learned anywhere else about using the electronic collar, because most trainers out there just use them for punishment, and they'll tell you if your dog's not doing what you want it to do, just turn the numbers up, turn the numbers up, turn the numbers up. Lots of trainers out there do it. Lots of really, really, really well-known trainers with hundreds of thousands of followers. That's what they do. To me, that is an inappropriate and ineffective way to use this. So, and part of the reason is if you're conditioning a dog to work at a high number and you actually need a high number for whatever reason, you run out of runway. You got nowhere to go. So, open the box. You're gonna take out, first of all, charger, plug it in. You are going to charge both the remote with this port back here, like that. Then you're gonna get the collar. You're gonna charge the collar as well. It comes pretty well charged, but it's not a full charge, so there's the port there. It's covered by this little rubber. And so we're gonna charge the collar. That's number one. So once the light on the collar, both the collar and the remote, both are green when it's on the charger, it's fully charged. Okay, so done with the charger. In the box, real quick, we got different contact points for bully breeds, short-haired dog breeds. We don't need these longer contact points. This is for your longer-haired dogs. We've got a tester to make sure the contact points are working. We've got the tool to change the cover of the remote, so we can change colors. So if you want different colors, I can get those. Comes standard with black or yellow, but they have red, green, blue, pink, purple, brown, orange. And then there's the tool to actually change the contact points. But again, you guys won't need to do that unless you, for some reason, get a long-haired dog. But your bullies, they're all short-haired, so we're good to go with the contact points that are on there. Okay, so collar and remotes. The way that we turn this on is there is a red little dot there, magnetic dot on the collar, and a red little magnetic dot on the remote. We're going to take the remote and match it to the red dot on the collar. The light is going to turn green on this, and it's going to start flashing green intermittently. That's how you know it's on. If this is not charged or it's losing charge, that light will flash orange. When we have this, the remote on, so on off for the remote is on the back, on off light, the big button there in the center that says L. We're gonna hold that down for about 3 seconds. It turns the remote on. We're gonna hold it down for 3 seconds. It's gonna turn the remote off. So again, little red dot on the remote, red dot on the collar, match them together, and now this is off. So there's no green blinking light. We'll match it again, and it's green. Okay, so that's turning it on and off. Now, setting up the remote. What we're gonna do is on the back, there's a little MC button next to the big button. So this button right here, the little one, we're gonna hold that down until on the front, we only see a C right to the right of the number, which right now is 0. Okay, so let me show you here. So I'm gonna hold it down. So now there's an M and a C, an M to the left, a C to the right. Hold it down. You'll hear a little beep. Now there's an M only and the C is gone. And now the C on the right. So that's the setting we want it on. C to the right of the number, okay? To change the number, we spin the dial. So this goes all the way up to 100, goes all the way to 0, okay? So we want a C to the left or to the right of the number. That's it. We don't want an M on there. So before we put this on the dog, I want each one of you to find your own number. Find what you feel, because this is what we're gonna do with the dog, to find their number. So what you're gonna do is take the collar, you're gonna put it in your hand and just hold it in your hand, kind of a little bit like on the meaty part of your thumb right there. And you're gonna find your number. So you can start at 1, go to 2, go to 4, try to find your number. So I'm at 7, I don't feel anything. 10, don't feel anything. 12, maybe a little. So that's 19. Now I feel a little bit, okay? So my number is 19. That's when I felt it, okay? Everybody's number is gonna be a little bit differently based on just who we are. Everybody feels a little bit different. So also where it is on your hand feels differently. So, but my number is 19 for that. So now we are ready to put it on the dog. Once you have experienced this and what it feels like and you found your number, we're ready to find the dog's number. One more thing real quick, this number, this button on the other side near the antenna is vibrate or tone. I don't really use that a whole lot, so, but feel the vibrate, feel how it feels. Vibrate can be really intense to dogs because it makes a sound and a sensation, okay? So it can actually be more intense than stimulation at lower numbers. So now we're ready to find the number on the dog. Okay, so remote collar, finding the dog's number. Just like when you hold it in your hand, you find your number. We're gonna start at 1. So Jackson here, he's been conditioned with the electronic collar, but at really high numbers. He was not conditioned by someone who knows what they're doing and the whys, which is one of the reasons I don't think regular people should just be able to buy these. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna start him at a 1, and I'm just gonna tap the button. I'm gonna tap it a couple times, maybe hold it for a second or two, and just see what he gives me, if there's any reaction. So now I'm gonna go to a 2, I'm gonna tap a few times, hold, nothing. So I'm gonna go to a 3, and I'm gonna keep working my numbers up until I see some acknowledgement that he felt that sensation. So that's a 4. So I just had him working, in all fairness, I just had him working a little bit, and he was working at a 4. So I'll show again. So you see that? That is acknowledgement that he felt the sensation. So there's a 4 again. So his number is a 4. This is a dog that when I first, like, really, he's been conditioned at numbers 30 plus and not responding to even those 30, 40, 50, 60 and higher, and not getting any response. Part of it is the collar was habitually put on him very loosely, but part of it is the way that he was taught about the collar. He was strict. It was primarily used as a reinforcer, a negative reinforcer, or a punishment, or a consequence, not as communication and not as direction. So if you watching this use this collar primarily as consequence, and that could even mean dog starts running off, and the only time you use it is you dial it up and you blast them because they ran off. That's consequence. Without any direction, that doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to the dog, other than they just took off running and they felt a painful sensation. So give them direction before we give them correction, and so that they have an understanding of what this means. That way, if they do run off and we do need to use a higher number, they have an understanding that that means come back to handler. Okay, so now, so we found his number, he's at 4. So now I'll start teaching him what this means using let's go and 180-degree turns. When you do your turns, make them crisp, make them sharp, not this big rounded off turn. That's confusing for a dog. Be precise with your movements so that he can be precise with his following you. So anytime I say let's go, I'm going to tap the black button, okay? Every single time. Every single time I say let's go, I'm tapping the black button. If I feel pressure on the leash, I'm gonna tap the black button. So if you hear me say let's go, I am tapping the button. So, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to take him down to a 3. Let's go. Let's go. So Jackson just got off a 1-hour treadmill session as well, so he is a little bit tired. I'll give him that. But I took him down to a 3 because he started to dip his head a little bit at a 4. I don't want that. Let's go. So he's letting me know that's a little much. I hear you, so I can take his number down. Okay, so this is Presley. I'm going to show you how to start to teach the dog what the remote collar means and condition them to it appropriately. So first thing first, always I'm going to find his number. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, so nothing yet, 5, so I'm tapping a couple times, holding, 6, which is good because I know Presley's number is about anywhere from 4 to 8, depending on his state of mind. So from here, so now I have his attention. So Presley is conditioned to the electronic collar, but I'll show you how I teach them the collar. So what we're gonna do is walk down. Every time I say let's go, I'm gonna press the black button. So I'm gonna say let's go, I'm gonna do a 180-degree turn, you guys. A sharp turn, not this rounded off, confusing to the dog, which way are we going, like long loop turn. Let's go, turn. I'm gonna turn my back, he's gonna follow. I tap the button. Every time you hear me say let's go, I am tapping the black button. He is going to be at a 6, okay? So, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go. So what you're going to want to do is do this for about 10 minutes. Back and forth, back and forth. If the dog is starting to already rush out ahead of you, I'm not going to give him a whole lot of leash. So and my distance that I walk forward is going to be a lot shorter. Let's go. So it's going to look more like this. Let's go. Let's go. Until we can start to cruise a little bit more. Let's go. Let's go. So the leash is backup. So if he gets out ahead of me, let's go. I'm going to tap and tell him let's go, and I can follow through with leash pressure. Let's go. What we're doing here is switching dog from prey drive, they want to go forward and see things and smell things, or potentially defensive drive, they're in flight or fight, into pack drive. So you see, he'll give me, let's go, he'll give me a little bit of eye contact. So even this body position, he's in pack drive, he's with me. Right? That's what pack drive is. Let's go. His willingness to follow, be with me, not be out checking things out. go. Let's go. Press it. So now he has freedom. He went over to Lauren, took the leash off. Let's go. But I still got him back with me. And every time I say let's go, every time you hear me say let's go, I'm pressing the black button. He's at a 6 still. Let's go. Let's go. I'm turning and walking away. I'm giving him my back. I'm not gonna turn and wait for him to stop. I want dog to follow. The movement will encourage them to follow. Let's go. When the dog sees you moving away, that will stimulate them to follow. If you just stop there, they're gonna stop. Presley, sit. Sit. So when we're done with the exercise, after you do this for 10 minutes, go ahead and love them up, pet them up. All right, so that's kind of phase 1 of conditioning the dog to the electronic collar. Low number, we stayed at 6 the entire time. So that now he starts to understand let's go means get with me, switch drives, get into pack drive, be with me, change what you're doing, follow, all of those things. But really it's about switching him from either defensive drive or prey drive, whatever he's doing. He wants to be out doing things and get back with me in pack drive. So stay tuned, and next thing we'll do is talk about recall with the electronic collar, and then starting to do our sits and our downs in place with the electronic collar.